What a Wild Spirit Brings by Lil, Chapter 21. The next day she was up and running to find her mitten. She found her having breakfast with Jerk. Lil stomped her foot as she turned away. He is such an annoying man. I know, sissy. I wanted to have breakfast with her. Well, go put on your little anther wrap and start practicing. That way, when she finds you, you will have sweat rolling down your muscles and over your bare skin. I bet she'd want to see that. You're right. Lil ran to her room and put on her leather chest wrap and her linen desert pants. She walked out to a horse corral near the stables and started practicing with her spear. She swung it around and ran and dove, working to fight 4 invisible enemies in an effort to get sweaty and glisten in the sunlight. Soon she saw a woman watching at a window. Her red stone was shining in the sun. Lil felt a surge of joy. It worked! Of course it worked! I am a genius, right? Lil laughed and danced with her spear. She practiced only a little more before she decided to go ask the Haldani to lunch. She ran in and started up the stairs to find Mitten, but she wasn't there. Lil was sure she was near the right windows, but no Mitten. She ran around until almost lunch before she found her with Mornay judging 2 men who had stolen from a market or something inside the main court. The queen looked very angry about Lil just bursting through the door like that, and Mitten gave her a warning glance, then acted as if nothing had happened. Lil was so frustrated she went stomping through the halls. She turned a corner and slammed into Gimp Haldani. Oh, I apologize, Gimp Haldani. I wasn't paying attention to where I was going. I noticed, she said with a patient smile. I don't know what to do with myself here. I mean, who were those people who wouldn't talk to me at dinner next to me? And is that little girl my cousin's baby? And who is the man who was sitting next to my cousin? Mitten Mornay are running the country, and I have no one to talk to or do anything with. I am irritated. That is putting it mildly, Henry added. Well, Gimp said kindly, you are free to do almost anything you please as long as Mornay has you here. Even we Haldani would not have right to you here. You should try to stay in her favor. You mean you aren't going to, well, you know, Gimp smiled. No, and I am a little more than relieved. Mitten Haldani and I both agree, right now, you are your own. Lil grinned at her. Smiling brighter, the woman continued. The 3 you sat next to were your cousin's siblings. They are royal houses your cousin Mornay fought to be queen. Her brother Dan and 2 sisters, Milna and Tulip. It is only to be proper that they joined her for dinner when she asks it, believe me. Ever since she had that girl, Tulip is no longer heir, and she hates the baby. Now, of course, that you are here, you are the baby Jelina's heir, putting her another step away from the throne. No wonder they don't like me. As you say, the man is Her Majesty's husband and general of the armies Martin. He has no right to the throne at all, but he is a strong man and also royal. Women always rule Andry, and the men lead the armies. Den was to be Tulip's general. Light, they must want me dead almost as badly as the Haldani do. Not all Haldani. Gimp looked a little reserved suddenly, and her eyes were soft. Lil felt a new respect for the woman. Finally, someone was admitting, even if in a small way, that what happened to her was wrong. I did first. Oh, I know, Henry. She is the first besides you. Yeah, she is nice. Too bad it's her instead of Mitten, though. But if I can't be with Mitten, Gimp at least seems like a friend. Maybe. You don't think so? I am still deciding. She seems, I don't know, too nice all of a sudden. She used to call you child and act like you were a child. Now she is acting all sweet. You're right. She might be trying to bribe me or something. I wonder why. You are the college's enemy. Hello? You really think Gimp is out to kill me? I don't know. I am still deciding. Just saying is all. I will try to remember. I love you, sissy. I love you as well, Henry. Lil, Gimp asked, breaking the thought conversation. Please don't call me that. The Haldani's face was a little hurt. Lil hadn't meant to be that curt. She didn't know the woman was an enemy, so until she did, she would be nice. Not friends, but nice. But how to make the woman smile now? Is there a library here? Yes. May I see it? I really love books. You? Really? Is that so surprising? A little, seeing how you are so active. Well, I do love books. Then I shall show you to the library. Oh, thank you, Lil cried, hugging her. Gimp smiled at her and hugged her back, a little late, but Lil didn't mind giving her another squeeze. The Haldani seemed pleased. They walked to a room filled with shelves of books on the walls facing in, and a hexagon shelf in the center of the room filled as well. Lil danced through the room, finally pulling out a book on the pure line. That was Ty's line. She opened it, and the very first page had her mother on it. She was much younger, almost her same age, but it was her. Tears filled her eyes. She just couldn't look away. "Your mother," Gimp Haldani said with tenderness, breaking Lil's trance. "Yes, isn't she beautiful?" "Yes." Lil smiled at Gimp Haldani. Then she frowned. "Why wouldn't anyone have told me there was a portrait of her here?" "I don't know." Lil shut the book gently, then turned and started furiously toward the throne room where her cousin and Mitten were. "Lil, wait! Lil, you don't want to cause trouble! You're free here, remember? Lil!" Lil did stop, but not because she cared whether or not Marnay liked her. Gimp almost sounded scared for Lil to go. "Haldani afraid?" "Henry, she really doesn't want to have to kill me." The Haldani was holding her hand on her chest and breathing deeply, regaining some Haldani composure. She realized that Lil was studying her and smiled as if nothing had happened. She took Lil's arm and led her out to the garden. "Shall we have lunch?" "I was hoping to have it with Mitten." Gimp Haldani hesitated for a moment, then continued on. "She will be busy all day, little brave one. She is the Queen's Counsel. She can't just stop doing her duty because you want her to. I, on the other hand, am just visiting. You may consider me your friend, little brave one. If you like." Lil was disappointed that Mitten Haldani was so preoccupied. Gimp was nice, but she wasn't Mitten. Gimp seemed to know Lil considered her less desirable company than Mitten and looked disappointed herself. Lil realized that the woman was trying to be a friend, and she was basically saying she didn't want her to be. "Friends, then." Gimp was shocked, but it gave way to a glowing smile. "Friends. You realize that if you start spending time with Gimp, you will be doing something with her when Mitten finally has time for you, sissy. But maybe that will be good. Mitten will get jealous again and make time for me. You're starting to think like me. Are you saying I'm a genius now?" "Not yet, but you're on your way." "Yay!" Laughter resounded in Lil's head.